At dinner, one friend said he had just been promoted. Another placed a new set of house keys on the table. Someone else turned her phone around and showed everyone a photo from her engagement. You smiled. You said congratulations. You asked when the wedding would be. You asked what the new house was like. You made the right face at the right time. Then, while everyone was talking, you checked your bank balance under the table, not because you needed to buy anything. You just wanted to know how far you were from feeling safe. A few minutes later, someone looked at you. What about you? Anything new? You laughed a little. Same old. Work's been busy. Then you asked another question before anyone could ask you one. On the drive home, the dinner kept replaying in your head. The promotion, the keys, the engagement photo. Nobody had tried to make you feel small. They were your friends. You were happy for them. That was what made it worse, because you could not blame anyone for the feeling in your chest. You could only look at your own life and ask, how did everyone get so far ahead of me? People will tell you not to compare. They will say, everyone has a different timeline. They will remind you that social media only shows the best parts. And sometimes they are right, but that advice does not always help, because part of you is asking a harder question. Am I being unfair to myself, or have I actually stopped moving? You opened the door to the same apartment you had been renting for years. The same chair stood beside the same table. The same unopened course was still saved on your laptop. The same credit card balance was waiting for another minimum payment. A bag of laundry sat where you had left it that morning. Nothing was falling apart. That was the problem. Nothing seemed to be changing. You sat down and opened your phone. A former coworker had started a better job. Someone from school stood in front of a house with a sold sign. A cousin was posting photos from another country. You already knew what people would say. You do not know what happens behind the photo. That is true. The person with the new house may have borrowed money from family. The person with the promotion may be working until midnight. The couple smiling in the engagement photo may have problems you cannot see, but some of the good parts are still real. They really did get the promotion. They really did buy the house. They really are moving into another stage of life. And you really are checking your account before agreeing to dinner next weekend. The posts were not the whole problem. They were reminders. Each one reminded you of something you had told yourself you would do. Update the resume. Check how much debt you actually owe. Finish the course. Start exercising. Apply for a better job. Make a plan. You had not forgotten those things. You had just pushed them into another week, so many times that they no longer felt like plans. They felt like evidence against you. That night, you opened a blank document and wrote, get a better job, pay off debt, move somewhere better, get in shape, meet someone, save money, travel, fix my life. You stared at the list. It did not make you feel motivated. It made you feel smaller because it was not a plan. It was a list of everything you believed was wrong with you. So, you closed the laptop. I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow became Monday. Monday became next month. Then another invitation arrived. Your friends were meeting for drinks. You typed, sounds good, then deleted it. You could already hear the questions. How's work? Are you still at the same company? Are you seeing anyone? Are you still renting? They were normal questions. Nobody meant anything by them. But lately, normal questions felt like an interview you had failed to prepare for. You finally replied, can't make it, busy week. Then you stayed home. You told yourself you were saving money. Part of that was true. The other part was harder to admit. You did not want to sit at another table and feel like the only person whose life had no update. This is where comparison starts changing more than your mood. At first you compare, then you hide. You stop going to dinners. You stop calling people who are doing well. You avoid old friends because you do not want to explain where you are. You avoid trying new things because you do not want to look like a beginner. You tell yourself you will come back when your life looks better. But while you are waiting to feel less embarrassed, you remove yourself from the places where something new could happen. And there is another truth people often avoid saying. Not everyone started from the same place. One friend may have lived with his parents while saving for a deposit. Another may have finished school without debt. Someone else may not have spent years helping a sick family member. One person may have connections that open doors. Another may have been in the right company at the right time. Those differences matter. Pretending everyone has the same time, money, support, and responsibilities would be dishonest. You should not compare your results with someone whose starting point was completely different. But different starting points do not answer everything. They do not answer whether your resume has been sitting unfinished for 6 months. They do not answer why the course you bought is still unopened. They do not answer why you say you want less debt, but still avoid looking at the total. Some of the distance between you and other people came from circumstances. Some of it may have come from avoidance. You need to know which is which. Before calling yourself a failure, ask 2 questions. What was never in my control? And what have I kept postponing even though it is in my control? You cannot control whether your family can help with a house. You can control whether you know where your money went this month. You cannot control whether a company hires you. You can control whether you sent an application. You cannot repair years of missed opportunities in one weekend. You can stop turning one small action into another promise for next Monday. Maybe you are not behind everyone, but you may be behind the promises you keep making to yourself. That Sunday, you open the list again. Better job, no debt, new apartment, better body, relationship, travel, everything. Then you deleted almost all of it. Not because those things no longer mattered, because trying to fix all of them at once had become another way to avoid choosing one. You took a piece of paper and drew 2 columns. On the left, you wrote, "Not in the next 90 days. Buy a house. Fix every financial problem. Build the perfect body. Find the perfect relationship. Create a completely different life." On the right, you wrote, "One thing I will test." You did not call it a dream. You did not call it a transformation. It was a test. For 90 days, you would find out whether your life was truly stuck or whether your plans had simply been too large to repeat. You chose work, not your whole career, not your purpose, not the question of what you should have done at 25, just the next step. You opened 10 job listings that paid more than your current role. The same skill appeared in most of them. It was the skill you had been avoiding because it looked difficult. So you made the plan small enough that you could not hide behind it. 20 minutes of learning, 3 evenings a week. Improve 1 section of your resume every Saturday. Apply to 3 suitable jobs every Sunday. That was it. No new laptop, no expensive productivity system, no announcement online, no waiting for the first day of the month. That evening, you set a timer for 20 minutes. The first session was not impressive. You checked your phone twice. You had to replay the same explanation. At one point, you wondered whether you were smart enough to learn it. When the timer ended, you still did not feel ready. But you had finished 20 minutes. That mattered more than feeling ready. You did it again 2 days later, then again at the weekend. Some weeks were messy. You missed a session. One application was rejected within hours. Another company never replied. You saw another house announcement and felt the same drop in your stomach. The difference was that you did not respond by writing another list of 10 things to fix. You returned to the one thing you had chosen. 20 minutes, 1 résumé section, 3 applications. After 1 month, your life looked almost the same from the outside. Same apartment, same job, same bank account. But your evenings were different. You were no longer ending every day with the thought, "I did nothing again." By the 2nd month, the skill that had looked confusing started to make sense. By the 3rd, your resume was stronger. You had sent applications you would previously have been too embarrassed to send. Then one afternoon, an email arrived. A company wanted to interview you. You read it twice. It was not a job offer. It did not solve your debt. It did not change your address. It did not place you ahead of anyone. It was one interview, but it was also proof something had moved. A few weeks later, you met the same friends for dinner. Someone talked about renovations. Someone else was planning the wedding. The comparison still showed up. It probably will for a while. Then someone looked at you. What about you? Anything new? This time, you did not need to invent an answer. I've been learning something new. I have an interview next week. It was not the biggest update at the table, but it was real, and it was yours. The point of 90 days is not to build a perfect life. It is not to catch everyone. It is not to prove that circumstances do not matter. They do. Some people had more help. Some carried less responsibility. Some got lucky earlier. But there may still be one part of your life where you have been standing still. Not because you cannot move, because every plan became too large to begin. So choose one promise. Make it small enough to repeat. Make it clear enough to measure. Then keep it long enough to become evidence. Not evidence that you are better than anyone. Evidence that you have stopped leaving yourself in the same place. You do not need a better answer when someone asks, "What's new?" You need an honest answer when you ask yourself, "Did I move this week?" Before this video ends, one unfinished promise probably came to mind. The resume, the debt total, the application, the course, the phone call. Do not list 10 things. Name one. What is the one promise you are done postponing for the next 90 days?